And some business news, the Naira gained at the official market as it traded at 1,255 Naira to a dollar on Thursday. Data from the official trading platform of the FMDQ revealed that the Naira gained 7 Naira 78 kobo. This represents 0.62% appreciation when compared to the previous day's trading on Wednesday, exchanging at 1,262 Naira 85 kobo to a dollar. However, the total turnover increased to $139.9 million on Thursday, surged from $166.1 million recorded on Wednesday. Meanwhile, at the investors and exporters window, the Naira traded between 1,294 Naira and 1,200 Naira against the dollar. And the Nigerian Customs Service has announced that it generated 1.3 trillion Naira revenue for the first quarter of 2024. The Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, explained that over 572 seizures were made with a duty-paid value of 10 billion Naira. Ademola Lawrence reports.
Speaking during a press briefing in Abuja to review the first quarter of 2024, the Nigerian Customs Service announced a remarkable performance in revenue collection. Total revenue collected during this period is more than 1.3 trillion Naira.
NCS demonstrated remarkable performance in revenue collection. Total revenue collected during this period amounted to 1 trillion Naira, 347 billion, 675,608,972.75 kobo. The collection for the first quarter represents a substantial increase of 122.35% when we compare it to the same period last year.
The custom boss, however, said that the service encountered a major challenge in the fluctuation of the exchange rate regime, which he said disrupted its activities.
The repercussions of these fluctuations have sent concerning signals to our stakeholders, and it affected very seriously. And in fact, you might say it disrupted our activities. Beyond the speculation regarding potential gains that it may have on our revenue, the implications on the transaction volumes are significant and they far outweigh any possible benefits.
Mr. Adeniyi, however, expressed delight on the relatively stability recorded recently, adding that the service, with the support of the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, has initiated a periodic consultation with the Apex Bank to mitigate the potential impact of exchange rate fluctuation on import activities.
We encountered a couple of non-operational challenges stemming from some deliberate attempts by certain malicious actors to undermine the reputation of the service. It is crucial to underscore that we remain resolute in addressing genuine, evidence-based observations as we have consistently done in the past.
Despite the challenges of dollar rates, there are ongoing efforts by the Nigerian Customs Service and other stakeholders to regulate import duties that will enhance the Nigerian economy. Ademola Lawrence, TVC News, Abuja.
Global markets retreated today as geopolitical tension kept crude oil prices above $90 a barrel, ahead of U.S. payroll numbers, and hawkish central bankers raised doubts about the pace and timing of interest rate cuts. MSCI's all-country stock index was down 0.3% as it continued to ease in the first week of the quarter after hitting a lifetime. In Europe, the stock index of 600 companies dropped by 1.2% after a lifetime high of 515.7 points. MSCI's broadest index of Asian Pacific shares outside of Japan fell 0.45%, tracking a late tumble on Wall Street as risk aversion dominated the market mood. Tokyo's Nikkei fell 2%, pressured partly by a stronger yen, and Hong Kong and Seng index are down 0.6%. Microsoft says artificial intelligence has the potential to contribute up to $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030. Mr. Theo Worstin, commercial lawyer with the multinational technology company in Africa, said this in a presentation at the Africa's AI Journalist Academy with focus on AI opportunities in Africa. Mr. Watson emphasized that opportunities AI could bring to Africa, noting that AI could generate $1.2 trillion for Africa, a 5.6% increase in the continent's GDP by 2030. He further emphasized the need for responsible regulation of artificial intelligence to accelerate its opportunities and reap its benefits. Also speaking is Government Affairs Director, Microsoft Africa, Mr. Akwageke, who says the world is changing and industries were transforming rapidly, and drivers of economic growth were also evolving. But the International Monetary Fund has praised the move by Japan's central bank to raise interest rates for the first time in 17 years. IMF spokesperson Ms. Julie Kozak in Washington, D.C., said the financial body welcomed the BOJ's decision to exit the yield curve control framework and the negative interest rate policy, while ending some of the other exceptional monetary easing measures.
We welcome the Bank of Japan's decision to exit the yield curve control framework and the negative interest rate policy, while ending some of the other exceptional monetary easing measures. These policies are in line with our recommendations, and they will help anchor both inflation and inflation expectations around Japan's 2% target. It's important to start by saying that we have seen over the last several years and decade an increased frequency of climate shocks globally, and Africa has been particularly hard hit by these climate shocks, and we see this, of course, happening now with these droughts in Zimbabwe, Malawi, and Zambia.
Apple has once again cut more than 600 jobs after reportedly dropping its self-driving car plans. According to reports, the majority of the cuts comes from the address of the site, which that was working on a recently abandoned self-driving car project in California. The California State Employment Department was notified on 28 March that 614 staff will be laid off in May. Apple has been avoiding mass layoffs in recent years, unlike other companies who have cut hundreds of thousands of jobs since the COVID-19 pandemic. Apple is yet to comment on the new development as at the time of this report. And crude oil prices extended gains today and headed for a second weekly gain, supported by geopolitical tensions in Europe and the Middle East, concerns over tightening supply, and optimism about global fuel demand growth as economies improve. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude selling at $86.78 with an uptick of 0.22%. Brent also experienced an upward review, 0.41%, selling at $91.02 per barrel. Bonnie Light recorded a downward price margin of 0.79% to sell at $91.54. And for the OPEC basket, dealers are offering $89.58 with an upsurge of 0.69%. That's the news at this hour. I'll see you at the top of the hour for Business Nigeria. Next is Sports News.
Every week, Green